Hello, hello, hello. Hi, Pisces. How are you? How has your season been going? It's been a Pisces season, you know. We've really been called to the mat about our dreams and our desires. And a very realistic thing. It's giving Pisces original ruler, traditional ruler of Jupiter, which, yes, many folks are like, oh, happy-go-lucky Jupiter, but also Jupiter, you know, was Zeus. Lightning bolts and striking folks down, and if you turn on him, he's just like, that's fine, I'll just get rid of you, you know? So, very much so, a Pisces season to remember. But let us look at March. This is your March general energy reading. We're going to take a look and see what's coming up for you, what's in the cards for Pisces for March. And let's see what your main card is, your main energy for Pisces. Pisces, okay. Ooh, Page of Swords. Love it. You're learning, you're growing. You may be becoming a student. You may just have found something new that you're interested in learning more about. And you're going to dig into that in the month of March. So allow your mind to expand and grow. Let's get more into that. Oh, we love it. Okay. Starting off wonderfully strong. 10 of Cups. So home life is going pretty well. Feeling pretty happy. Feeling pretty satisfied with how things are going on as far as your emotions. So being in a pretty good space there. Let's get some clarifying for 10 of Cups. We have the Queen of Swords. You may have had to set some boundaries. There may be something, this is interesting. There may be some justice that you were hoping for that maybe didn't come to pass or that you didn't find. Ooh, Lord, now this is fascinating. And then an 8 of Swords. So you're feeling stuck in your head. This is fascinating. Queen of Swords. So Queen of Swords would be saying that you're kind of, if there's a Queen of Swords, maybe you're not the Queen of Swords. There may be a Queen of Swords who you're interacting with when it comes to your family, your home, or your general happiness, like your overall happiness of your world, right? And there may be a little bit of justice and injustice that was had, an imbalance that was going on somewhere that, you know, someone was mistreated. And there is a feeling of being mentally stuck. So although it's like on the surface, emotionally, everything's great, your head's kind of a mess. The head's a mess. The mental energy's kind of a mess. There needs to be some order going on here. Or you may be trying to figure out how to communicate an injustice that was experienced and not sure about how to relay that because everyone else is seeming like they're in such a good place emotionally. You may not be wanting to rock the boat. Or perhaps you're just interested in learning more about how to actually create balance and justice and things like that. And in how to get people out of their heads and into their hearts into a happier space. But this is feeling much more personal. This definitely feels much more personal. It's time to listen to your instincts. It's time to go within. There is some, as always, your lovely invitation for shadow work. That's the moon card for me. There is some... Yes, you need to be in that Leo energy. That Leo energy is coming up for you. Cancer energy is coming up for you. Libra energy in reverse is coming up for you. Perhaps a laying down of the law. Perhaps a Libra is coming in and is being very honest and frank with you about some of the things that are not making sense about the stuff that you're maybe saying there is everything is great and maybe it's not actually. So you're being invited to listen to your instincts, to be very brave at how you're approaching these things, particularly if there are some things that you need to go in and looking at mothering situations. So maybe this Queen of Wands of Swords is a mother in this situation. You're a mother, another mother, something like that. To look at what happiness actually looks like for you. That 7 of Cups and pick a cup. And Knight of Wands. And to follow your passions. To go in and put energy towards those passions. All right. Here it is. I think that there is a story that you may have reached a point of happiness, or there may have been a story about happiness that you have told yourself and what that looks like, and you may be experiencing that, and you may be feeling thrown off balance when you recognize that you don't actually feel happy. in your head is not calm. Your head is not peaceful the way that you thought it would be. It is not quiet in the way you thought it would be when you experience this thing that you thought would be happiness, or the completion of this that you thought it would bring you to. And what this is a call to go a little bit deeper, a call to go to the next level, to either correct the things that are out of alignment in your life right now, or to go on to follow and add to these cups in a new way. There is some self-exploration that needs to come from that. It is that looking at the moon, it is going behind the veil, it's going in within the unconscious to see which one of these 7 cups you need to be putting more time and energy towards. Perhaps in your pursuit of creating happiness in your world around you, or finding the joy of your 10 cups in the world around you, you have let go of your actual passions. You have let go of your personal passions and then focused on what does it look like to have everyone else around me find that joy and that happiness, without having actually been able to put time and effort towards the things that provide you with personal happiness. Let's see what your final clarifier is. Ooh, the Fool in reverse and the Page of Pentacles. You are being cautious. You are not making any rash decisions. You are not making any... and this is interesting, because if you do by the, I think it's Marseille, perhaps, I don't know. Marseille, I don't know how you say it, but however you say that one. Tradition of reading tarot cards. The Knight of Pentacles would actually be the final minor arcana card before you get to the Fool. And so it is like you're not quite there yet. And the energy that would be the Fool, that would help you to make this leap, to go to this new pattern, to start this new journey, you're not quite there yet. There is some continued work that needs to be done before you'll be ready for this new start. And even if you are in this space where you're like, it's time for a new start, you're being very, very mindful and cautious about how you're approaching that. And the thing is, there's an ending that needs to take place. Yeah, there is. There's an ending that needs to take place. Because the thing is that while it is good for the Fool to have some kind of brevity, some that lightness about them, but to also have that maturity, a little bit more of that maturity of having kind of gone through this before. The Fool is protected by their optimism, by their just belief that things will work out. So if you've lost that, you've kind of lost that protection. So it's a good thing and a bad thing. And not like a good thing and a bad thing. I hate to add the morality piece to this. It is something that could be helpful, but it's also something that could be a hindrance moving forward. And so we have these two that are very similar. I love these cards together, the Knight of Pentacles and the Death card, because they resemble each other so much. With this planting a new seed, carrying forth what you have been able to kind of, like the last seed of all the journey that you've been on, and moving on to this next step of planting a new seed, jumping into a new journey. And the Death card, which is saying that like this seed isn't going anywhere. That like it's time for something to end in order to actually be able to grow something else. So like that new seed, that new investment, that new space, like something in, and it is something related to this feeling of being left out in the cold. This feeling of not being supported by the people around you, or by the institutions, by society. Like, maybe there is an idea of what happiness and success looks like for you. But it feels like it's not accessible. There's a kind of belief, it's working on your belief systems over here, that it's not accessible, that it's not for you. And then it's like, well, I have to be cautious in how I want to move forward. And I have to end some connections because I've realized that I have been left out in the cold. I haven't been supported. And if I want to move forward, then I'm going to have to kind of figure that out on my own. I don't know if that's necessarily the case, though. We'll get into your outcome, and then I'll go a little bit further into this. So your outcome is a Wheel of Fortune. So things starting to turn in your favor. This is good. Good energy. We love it. Knight of Pentacles. You have like all the Knights almost. Or Knight of Cups. Knight of Cups. So kind of reinvesting your emotions into something, moving again really kind of quickly. The issue with the Knight of Cups is that it's not mature emotionally. It's not very well thought out. It's literally like the passions of the moment. There's a lot of energy here about the passions of the moments, and then having to mourn the things that didn't work out before. So this Ten of Cups, I say this with the most love, this Ten of Cups is not it. And it's only not it because it doesn't bring you peace of mind. And so to kind of have these things go together where it's like you're getting that emotional fulfillment, but now your mind is all a mess, is probably not what that actually looked like for you. And it's kind of pulling you back to the drawing board. It's pulling you back to that Page of Swords, to that, like, coming back to this idea of, like, mental peace for you. What does that look like? And that's that Justice energy. Justice, Libra energy, is that energy of finding mental peace, of finding that peace that you can have with the other, and not just you, but when the world around you is also creating peace for you. So there's a mourning that has to happen about the emotional things, the emotional connections that didn't work out. Because right now you may be really ready to move forward. I love this, the Chariot. You're really ready to move forward. And while I think you're being strong. I think you're attempting to be courageous. Tap into that Strength card emotionally and say, I'm still willing to put my heart out there. But you really have to actually like go into the feelings and the emotions of releasing this idea of a Ten of Cups that you thought you had or that you think you have right now, and getting into the nitty gritty of what that actually will look like for you, and then to allow yourself to move forward and move on and create true connections that will put you in a better space for this. This is a lot of energy of movement. And in this one, this is interesting to look at. This is all in the mind. There's so much going on mentally here related to this idea of the Ten of Cups that like clarity is needed. Justice needs to be brought back. And you know, here's the thing. When you look at justice and you look at the scales, in the Egyptian mythology, we have Mayat. And Mayat is the one who weighs your heart when you die, when you pass. And she weighs your heart against a feather on the scales to figure out if you need to kind of go back and start and continue to relearn these lessons. So if you haven't been following the laws of Mayat and living in accordance and alignment with them, and your heart is not as light as a feather, then you don't get like the kind of go ahead to move forward in life. There's a realization that you come to in the beginning of March that your heart, even though it's 10 of Cups and it should be, is not as light as a feather. Your mind is heavy, and your mind is heavy for a reason, and you need to explore what that is. You need to be brave and go within and figure out why your heart is not as light as a feather. There is something that's off balance in a space where it feels like everything is great, but it doesn't bring you peace of mind. And that means that emotionally something is off. That is the emotion. When we're looking at this psychological inner work, the shadow work, the emotions are always the key. They're always the first things that are going to show you where something needs to be addressed. And so while your emotions may be feeling like, and your heart may be feeling like, oh no, everything is good, when you put it on that scale and you look at mentally, you tap into your mind and you realize it's not balanced, your heart is not feeling comforted and held, and your mind is not at peace, you recognize that something's off in this equation, and that you've kind of got to go back. You've kind of got to go back to the Seven of Cups again and look at when you dreamed and you fantasized and you thought about all these options of what it is that you could do and you could go after and you could be, and the places that you could put your emotional well-being into, and the commitments that you could make, and you looked at those cups. Is that what played out? Is that really what played out? Did you pick one of your cups consciously, or did your unconscious pick a cup to play out a story that it's been living and a narrative that it's been going with? And it may be time to go back and get that conscious and that unconscious. The Strength card is also related to the sun. The moon is another one of the luminaries. It's your emotional well-being as well. It is that going behind the curtains and the columns of the High Priestess to get within the depths of the unconscious to see what is happening that you may not be aware of that's driving you forward. and putting you in these situations where you're like, but I have everything that I want when it comes to my emotions, when it comes to happy marriage, happy family, all those things. Why is my mind not at peace? And it's saying it's time to go back and really look at, what are those cups? What are those cups? Are all the cups there, or are some of the cups missing? Are some of the cups not yours? Are some of the cups unconscious desires that have been sneaking their way in there that you are not aware of, that you're manifesting, and it is what you want, but you're not consciously aware of? That's what you're aligning yourself with. There's time to get very clear on that, and it's taking that time to study yourself. Study yourself and get clear. So we have this desire then here to plant this new seed, to invest in a new way, but then ending has to come, particularly about your relationship with the support systems that you're not feeling like you're receiving externally. So maybe you're not feeling supported in the home when it comes to your finances. Maybe emotionally everything is great, but financially there's a mismatch going on, and there's an alignment that needs to be put into place, and you're being very cautious and mindful about how it is you're going about switching up this energy, changing this energy, the direction that this energy is going on, because there was something that y'all were going to move into, and then that ended, and now it's like, dang, like I still can't find this peace of mind because there's something where I'm still not feeling like the gates of the church, the doors of the church are open to me. The doors of my support system, of the home of my support system, are not open to me. I'm walking outside and having to carry everything on my own. And it's making it where the lightness, heart as light as a feather, the lightness of the Fool is not accessible. You can't tap into that. You're not tapping into that. So there's an ending that has to occur that you need to really take a look at it. What this energy related to your finances, your investments, and how you operate in your systems is happening. And that goes back to getting in touch with what's really going on and where your unconscious is really pulling you. The things are turning in your favor. Change is coming. There is, though, maybe still a little immaturity in how you're approaching things emotionally. But that may come, some growth may come. You're moving forward regardless, but growth may come from actually addressing the fact that your heart was not fulfilled in the way that you thought it would be when you looked around and you were like, oh, I have this 10 of cups, but then it actually was like, actually you were missing 3 cups. How interesting that this 5 of cups has the 2 cups standing behind them. We have the 7 of cups that you come back to when you move forward. And then we have the 3 cups that were knocked over. 3 cups were actually missing here, even though by all appearances, it was all 10. Something is missing, and you need to mourn whatever that was so that you can start building towards, actually this equals those 3. You can start building towards actually getting that and actually having that be present in your life and moving forward to this more balanced emotional fulfillment, true emotional and mental fulfillment. Okay, that's it. Love you, Pisces. Comment down below, like the video, subscribe for more. If you want assistance or you want a personal reading, check the link inside the description and come contact me. We'll hang out. We'll get to the nitty gritty. We'll go into the unconscious. We'll do all of that inner work. We'll go do the shadow work. We'll go incorporate these pieces so we can figure out where the emotional mismatch is happening. Okay? And what may be the root of that and what your unconscious is trying to tell you. I love you so much. I'll see you later. Bye.